Look at that. It's a beautiful sighting. White-tailed mongoose. Even though you're seeing this animal in black and white because of the infrared lights, the body and the animal is pretty much the same color that you see it now. Sort of a greyish black coat and then a sort of a white-grey tail. And then we can see some natural behavior as well. Fantastic. It's just digging in under the grass there. Obviously maybe a little insect or grub or something that he heard or smelt down there. Beautiful animal. Now again, maybe a little difficult to judge the size of it, but it's about the size of a very large house cat. Trying to put it into perspective for like a sort of a large small dog, if that makes any sense. A bit bigger than a Jack Russell. Look at that. You can see the stronger back legs, front legs used more for digging and so on, obviously when they're walking around as well, but interesting body shape. Digging in, they're using the nose as well to locate what it's digging for. This is awesome. Could never ever see this in a normal spotlight.
I think this must be one of the better sightings we have had with mongoose.
Yeah, I think it's already my best. We had a beautiful sighting a while back that I was with Rex, but this one, in terms of it being open, you can see it even down to the little paws and the feet. If you look very carefully, maybe when those feet move, you'll see they've got quite long nails for digging. Alex, yeah, that digging we just saw now is cool, huh? Just the behavioral aspect is very interesting as well. Let's follow it a bit. Just have to. Alex is yeah, let me just see where I'm driving to. Alright. I'd hate to have to try and do this in a thick area full of trees and holes and rocks, but this kind of habitat it works. There you can just see what's a mongoose still. Oof, we're going to be close now if we're lucky. Let's go forward. Yeah. Alright, let's try that again. Also interesting little team building exercise, Alex, driving like this. You know where they do it, where they blindfold someone and then the rest of the team have got to tell the person left hand down, right hand down and something like that. It's a little bit like that, just a bit more technology involved. I have to admit the evolutionary purpose of that tail I don't know. Maybe if it gets very cold it can cuddle up to it. You'll probably find that it was some kind of breeding logic to it. In other words, that females preferred males with big tails and males preferred females with big tails. It certainly would stand out a little bit as well. Here's the mongoose now, Alex. That's that. Alright, let's stop here again. Must have heard something, so it's like stops whichever his foot is in the air at the time, doesn't even put. Oh, there we go. Now there you see how the senses really come to play for nocturnal animals, using that nose low down looking for things to dig out, but then if it hears something it stops, listens, goes over and catches it. So it can catch little insects, smaller, I'm sure it'll catch little mammals, and I know they eat frogs for instance, amphibians as well, all kinds of small prey. It'll catch things that are running around on the surface, locating those mainly by hearing, also sight obviously, and then it'll also dig out things under the ground using its mainly the scent, hearing again to an extent, but mainly scent to locate those. Let's follow it. mongoose again. There he is. Brilliant. Imagine this little creature. For us it's maybe easy to imagine to an extent, obviously not to the full aspect of it, but you can imagine sort of what the day-to-day life of an elephant is, or a lion, or a leopard, just because we spend as much time as we can, us at WildEarth, but obviously just in general as well. As research have gone, we've studied the bigger mammals quite well. Imagine the life of a white-tailed mongoose. This animal is probably 4 or 5 years old, if not more. It has in its time seen its fair share of elephant and lion and leopard. It's probably been chased by a few. It's had to fight with other things and all kinds of experiences, walking around every night like this, nose to the ground, ears alert, eyes alert, looking for food. You can imagine the kind of adventures this animal has had already. So let's head out right in front of us now. What is that? Is it a bat? Something flying through the air. Thank you, Jan. And thank you for the responses we're getting. I didn't think anyone was too bored, but it's lovely to hear people are really enjoying this. I'm having, this is such a different thing. We've seen it catch a few things already. Now eating, it's just eating another bug there. Yeah, this is certainly a view into the night. This is really what infrared kind of behavior we're seeing at the moment. Seems to be doing pretty good where it's at the moment. It's eaten a few things there already. Maybe some smaller insects, termites even, who knows. Excuse me. Reminds me a little bit, even though it doesn't, there's a lot of things that aren't similar, but a little bit in the way it moves and feeds. Reminds me a little bit of a raccoon, which is an animal I know very little of course, a North American animal. But I've always been fascinated by them. Raccoons just look like they could be a lot of fun to watch for a while.